Hey, Team Thompson. It is Friday. Happy Friday. Thursday was a busy, kind of emotional day for me. It was a big day. Um, but we got the news that we will not get to end our school year together, and we will be learning from home until the end of the school year. And I wasn't surprised, really. I felt like this was coming, and I'm happy that I don't have to wait for an answer anymore. Like, I can know the plan going forward, and I just wanted to know the plan. But for some of you, you may have felt sad. I was definitely sad at first and spoke with Miss Jaber about it, but I know it's what's best for our community. And again, I'm happy we have a plan. Now I feel like, now that I know that we're going to be learning this way till the end of the year, I can really make sure that we find the best ways to connect with one another, and we find some habits that are really effective in making us feel like a community as we end this year. Hopefully It's Learning is going smoothly for you guys. There were some bumps in the road with uploading Google Forms and getting access to Google Docs and different things like that, and I hope I've worked out all those kinks. Next week should go a lot smoother, but thanks for being patient. Miss Jaber has been doing these really awesome tech tips, and she's got a tech tip for us today that I want us to see. So I'm going to put in tech tips and some other special things from Miss Jaber, and then another special thing from the staff at MRIG into this video now. So you're going to watch this video, and then we'll read The Wild Robot. And then at the very end of the video, I have a special announcement to share with you. So you got to watch all the way till the end. All right?
Easier than doing it all on Google Drive or the packet. Once you guys figure it out, it's going to get much easier, but this week it'll feel the most complicated, okay? If you haven't watched that video that we sent out and that I linked in yesterday's tech tip, you need to watch that, because a lot of questions I'm getting, they were answered in that video, and it's really going to help you to watch that. So go to yesterday's video and watch that tech tip if you have not seen the video from Ms. Statham about how to use It's Learning. Also, if you want to make a schedule or an organizer, I sent this to your families. You can see there's a couple different schedules you could make. You could kind of make like a checklist to make sure that you do all your lessons. You can make a daily planner and schedule it depending on how much work you want to do per day. So if you just want to work on weekdays, you'll have 3 to 4 lessons per day. If you want to work every day, even on the weekend, you only have 2 to 3 lessons per day. So check out that planner, make an organizer that works for you. And if you did science lesson 1 yesterday, I want to give you a reminder that you should be taking your weather data. Now, Mrs. Jaber's doing it too in case you miss a day, but just want to give you your daily reminder to take the weather information down on your chart today. All right. Your first tech tip today is that when you are in It's Learning and you get to a homework assignment, on the ones where it tells you some questions to answer and you have to click Answer Assignment, once you click this box pops up for you to answer your question in. And if you're like, oh no, I don't remember what I'm supposed to answer, you can go like this. Ready? Show. And then what's going to happen is all of that pops back up again. Okay? And then if you don't want it there, you can click Hide. So if you're ever wondering, where did the question go? Remember this button in the top right corner. Show, hide. Show, hide. Alright? After you submit it, it'll pop up what you submitted, and it'll say your answer not corrected. And that little blue mark right there that says not corrected, that just means your teacher hasn't gone in to grade it yet or give you any feedback. To remind you of, is that your writing and your reading lessons are in the same place. If you click on Communication Arts, you're going to see your writing lessons and your reading lessons. So you kind of have to scroll down all the way to get to the other one. So I can see that this is writing, lesson 1. If I click show more, it says lesson 2 writing, lesson 3 writing, and remember you just click start when you're doing that lesson. And then at the bottom it goes to reading. So lesson 1 reading, lesson 2 reading, lesson 3 reading. Alright? And you know it's over when you get to the bottom and there's nothing else to show. So some people were like, where's the reading? Where's the writing? Well, it is in the same place. That one's a little confusing. So remember, they're both under Communication Arts. Alright? Other thing I want to show you today is that if you're wondering if you have completed all your assignments, if you go into your subject, like right now I'm in Communication Arts, and I go over here to where it says tasks, this is just for you. So if I click on, it says no deadline because we don't have a deadline for the homework assignments. So if I click on this, it's going to show me all the homework assignments in writing and in reading. So by the end of this week, if you're like, I finished all 3 writing lessons and all 3 reading lessons, well, go back in here and make sure that there's nothing under this tab right here. If there is, that means you either forgot to do it or you probably forgot to press that submit button. As soon as you do it, it disappears. So this is saying you have 10 assignments between reading and writing this week, and that number will get smaller as you start submitting your homework, okay? If I wanted to go to my math and see if I've submitted all my math, I know yours looks a little different than mine, but if I go to math, let me make sure I'm in this student view because this is what you'll see, and I want to go over here, I can see I have 3 lessons of math. This one's for lesson 1, lesson 2, and that's lesson 3. So if it says 3 right here, that means you have not completed your homework or you have not submitted it to me. If you've submitted all 3 lessons, then this will say 0 right here. Okay? The thing I want to show you next, I won't be able to show until tomorrow because I'm going to use a student's computer to show it to you because I can't get to it. But when your teacher corrects your homework or grades your homework that you've submitted or writes a note to give you some feedback, I want to show you how it's going to pop up on your screen today and how you can go into that. Now I'm going to start giving feedback and grading your homework assignments today, so you'll probably see a little note pop up in the corner that says announcement, and you can click on it. So you might get to play around with it today and already figure it out, but tomorrow I will take a video of how to go and look at your teacher's feedback, okay?
right, I hope you enjoyed that video from the staff of MRHE. Hopefully Miss Javer's tech tips were super helpful for you. And now I'm going to get into the wild robot. All right. Oh, we left off after Brightbill had seen the dead robots, and now he's flying up and Roz is climbing up the cliff, and at the top we found out there were two young bears waiting for them. Chapter 46, The Fight. Hello, bears. My name is Roz. Oh, we know who you are, said the sister bear. Her voice dripped with sarcasm. We're very happy to see you again. Yeah, we're very happy to see you again, echoed the brother bear. Why do you always repeat what I say? Said the sister bear to her brother. It's so annoying. I was just backing you up. Let me do the talking. Fine, you don't have to be so mean about it. The bickering bears were interrupted by the robot's friendliest voice. With whom do I have the pleasure of speaking? Oh, how rude of us, said the sister bear. My name is Nettle, and this is my little brother, Thorn. I'm not little, snapped Thorn under his breath. It's lovely to meet you both, said Roz, but I am afraid I really must be going. And I'm afraid we can't let you do that. Nettle stepped into Roz's path. My brother and I, we don't like monsters. I'm not a monster. I'm a robot. Whatever you are, we don't like you. We hear you've become very comfortable on our island, said Nettle. Now we're going to make you very uncomfortable. Yeah, we're going to make you very uncomfortable. Stop repeating me, Thorn. Poor Roz was in serious trouble. The bears were closing in on her, but she couldn't run, she couldn't hide, and she couldn't fight. The robot didn't know what to do. But before she could do anything, there was a loud squawk and a streak of feathers. Stay away from my mama! Brightbill swooped down and skidded to a stop between the robots and the bears. So the rumors are true, Nettle laughed. There really is a runty gosling who thinks the robot is his mother. How could anyone be so stupid? Do yourself a favor, Gosling, and fly away before you get hurt. She's right, Brightbill, said Roz. Please let me handle this. But the gosling stood his ground. He spread his wings and hopped around, ready to defend his mother. The bears roared with laughter. Then, with a flick of her paw, Nettle sent Brightbill tumbling over the ground, over and over, until he flopped onto his back and stared up at the sky, stunned. This is our island, snarled Nettle. It's time for you to go, growled Thorn. Roz made herself as big as possible. She banged her chest and roared wild, angry sounds. But the bears were not intimidated. They roared right back. And then they attacked. Nettle pulled Roz into a fierce bear hug while Thorn clawed at her legs. The robot tried to shake free, but the bears would not let go of their prey, not this time. A cloud of dust bloomed around the trio as they thrashed closer to the edge of the cliff. All of a sudden, something burst out from the trees and onto the open cliff top. Mother Bear. And she was gigantic, like a mountain of golden fur, and she was furious. It seemed like this would be the end for our robot. But Mother Bear wasn't there to join the fight. She was there to break it up. Nettle, Thorn, get over here this instant. The young bears should have listened to their mother, but instead they pretended not to hear her. Nettle slashed at Roz's body, and Thorn began wrestling with her foot. He grabbed the foot with both paws and forced it up from the ground. Then, with every ounce of his strength, he twisted the foot around. Reader, the following events happened very quickly. First, there was a strange flip sound as the robot's right foot popped off of her leg and sailed through the air. Then everyone toppled over. Nettle and Roz fell sideways along the edge, but Thorn fell backward and tumbled right off the cliff. Do you know what the most terrible sound in the world is? It's the howl of a mother bear as she watches her cub tumble off of a cliff. Mother Bear's howl was so startling that it snapped Brightbill right out of his stupor. Her howl was so powerful that it shook Roz's entire body. Her howl was so loud that animals heard it clear across the island. But there was no reply from Thorn. Mother Bear's howl slowly faded, and she wilted to the ground. Roz watched as her detached foot sailed over the edge and plummeted down to the shore below. It fell past circling seagulls, smashed off a rock, and disappeared into the waves. And that's when the robot noticed something furry dangling from the cliffside. Thorn! There it is. His full weight hung from a tree that was rooted to the rock wall. He gripped the tree tightly in his jaws and looked up at Roz with wide, frightened eyes. "I see Thorn!" shouted Roz. "Grab my legs, quickly!" Mother Bear and Nettle scrambled to their feet. Each bear took a leg in her mouth, and together they slowly lowered Roz head first down the cliff. Thorn whimpered through clenched teeth as he watched the robot approach. Then he felt her strong arms wrap around him and heard her booming voice holler up, "Pull us up!" Thorn let go of the branch and cried, "Please don't drop me, Roz. I don't want to die." "Do not worry," said the robot. "I will not drop you." The next few moments seemed to drag on and on. Mother Bear and Nettle kept pulling on Roz's legs, and more of the robot slowly came into view until a furry golden head finally appeared, and Thorn leaped into the embrace of his family. That sure says a lot about Roz, that she was able to save Thorn after all that just happened to her. Okay, and let's recap. She just lost her foot. Uh-oh. Chapter 47, The Parade. "Does it hurt?" Brightbill touched the smooth surface where his mother's foot used to be. "No, it does not hurt," said Roz, "but it will be difficult for me to walk." The bears huddled behind the gosling and stared at the robot's stump of a leg. Nobody understood how a foot could pop off like that, or how Roz could remain calm. "Roz, I'm sorry my cubs attacked you," said Mother Bear. "Sometimes they're completely out of control." "It's okay. You know how they are at this age." That's something that Roz learned to say. She doesn't know how they are at this age. "I can't thank you enough for saving Thorn. I promise my cubs will never bother you again. Isn't that right?" "Yes, Mother," said Nettle and Thorn together. The robot tried to walk. She bobbed up and down on her uneven legs, which worked well enough on the flat surface of the cliff top, but once she entered the forest, her problem became very clear. The smooth stump had no grip, and it slipped around on the forest floor, so Roz tried hopping on her one good foot. She took a few crunching hops and then clanged into a tree trunk. A few more hops, and then she crashed into the undergrowth. "I'm really sorry I broke off your foot," said Thorn as he helped the robot up from the weeds. "I forgive you," said Roz. Whether she was capable of true forgiveness is anybody's guess, but they were nice words, and Thorn felt better when he heard them. "It looks like I'm going to have to crawl home," said Roz. "Nonsense," said Mother Bear. "I have a better idea." Mother Bear lay flat on the ground while her cubs boosted Roz onto her back. Then Brightbill fluttered on to the bear's broad shoulders, and when they were both safely aboard, the group set off through the forest. The robot was heavy, but she was no trouble for the giant animal. Mother Bear strolled along as if it were perfectly normal for a robot to be riding on her back. They made quite a grand procession, all walking together like that, and the procession became even grander as deer and raccoons and birds and all kinds of other animals joined in. Everyone wanted to see the mother robot riding the mother bear. The group wound its way past ancient trees, over rolling meadows, and through babbling streams, collecting more and more curious animals as they went. And it was the grandest parade of wildlife anyone had ever seen. And leading the way was our robot, Roz. Look at how little Roz looks on the bear's back. It's a big bear. But the parade couldn't last forever. As the sun went down, the other animals began drifting away, one by one, and when the parade finally arrived at the nest, only the original members remained. "Here we are," said Mother Bear, helping Roz down into the garden. "Now, wasn't that better than crawling all the way home?" "Oh, yes, that was wonderful," said the robot. "I cannot imagine a better ending to this day. Thank you very much." "Yeah, that was amazing," squeaked the gosling. "My friends won't believe me when I tell them I rode across the island on the back of a bear." "I'm glad you enjoyed yourselves," Mother Bear smiled. "It's the least I could do after all the trouble these two caused." Her smile became a frown, and she glared at her cubs, who suddenly took a great interest in a pebble on the ground. It was late, and it had been a long, difficult day for everyone, so the bears said goodbye and headed back to their cave. Brightbill and Roz stood in the garden and watched their new friends lumber away. And then the gosling said, "Mama, do you think you'll ever walk again?" "I'm not sure," said the robot, "but I know who to ask for help. Now go get ready for bed." Chapter 48, The New Foot. Okay, I think it's a good time to tell you my announcement. Okay. You have to come close. Abby, you're going to want to come close for this. Maya Ogenard, you're going to want to come close for this. Maya Davis, you're going to be excited. I think you'll all be excited about this. But James and I decided we will get married. James, come say hi. Yay!
Hi.
Team Lames forever. Bye, James.
I'm just getting my coffee cup. I'll be back in.
Oh, okay. We were very excited to share that with you. James has been reading Maya Ogenard's, Maya Davis's, and Abby's letters to me on the back of their spelling test all this school year. Apparently, James had this planned for about a year. So the letters to him were quite funny because he knew that this was going to happen. So we were very excited to share that news with you guys. So we're pretty excited about that. I called Miss Jaber to tell her when it happened the other night, and she screamed and like fell over on her bed. It was pretty hilarious. She was just as surprised as I was. Anyways, very excited for that news. So happy I get to share it with you guys. You're an amazing class. And I am going to be posting a little bit more about what you can do if you're feeling upset that the school year has come to an end. But, well, not an end. We're still learning, but the school year together. You get what I mean. But how lucky are we that we get to be together next year? I think that's why I'm not like totally crushed by this happening, because I get you guys next year and we get to like get back into our normal routine next year. And so I love you guys a ton. Miss you. There's going to be so much more coming out next week about ways that we can meet up on Google Meet. We can have some class meeting type things. I'm still trying to learn Google Meet. I was more familiar with Zoom, but we're switching over to Google Meet. So bear with me as I get the hang of that. I will talk to you all soon. Thanks for hanging in to the end of this very long video. See you soon.